Hi everybody, I'm Michael. I'm here with some of my great friends, John, the sales manager and in-house design consultant at Flamingo Road Nursery, and one of my besties of besties, Andrea Katz, who I've known well over 30 years. And today we're going to be talking about flowering trees for your South Florida garden. We're going to talk about large, medium, small, and some natives. So, y'all ready to dig in?
Yes, I am.
Let's grow! Now we're going to start by talking about large flowering trees. What's this beauty here?
We have a Royal Poinciana. This is what we see with those just fabulous canopies.
Yeah.
Nice big orange color.
Big tree. Well, this one will get
Large.
an umbrella though. If you go down South Miami Avenue, we've done a video on that, and these things are, in the summertime, have these just bouquets, almost like Hong Kong orchid and flower. It's beautiful flowering, very robust flowering, and this tree gets very large, so you have to have a big yard for them, or you can plant them as a street tree if you have the room. Really nice tree. Jacaranda, similar looking.
Very similar. The foliage is very, very similar.
To me, the jacaranda is beautiful for lavender flowers, but it has a more brittle nature.
It does.
I've done a video on that. I did a quick tip on the jacaranda, so you can always check about that tree to learn more. And also the yellow poinsettia, very similar to this one, right?
Very, very similar.
Yeah,
And
beautiful yellow flowers.
yes.
This one gets more wide.
This gets wide,
Yeah.
and the yellows, we always say
It's a big tree. They're both big trees,
Yes.
and they beautiful yellow flowers. That yellow I just absolutely love. The Bearwood's close, but there's some others that I really, really like.
and then look right behind you, because you talked about them, Hong Kong orchids.
Oh,
are
here we
right
go.
there.
Right there.
Right there,
Yep.
the Hong Kong orchid
Yep.
trees.
Yep. This will be.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
but
please, I
just
want
want to
to
add
know.
a tidbit of knowledge that not everybody knows. With this tree, it sometimes puts off a second stalk of bamboo. I just want to draw your attention. That's
So
it.
this is a guide pole, right?
So we at Flamingo Road Nursery
Fibbing
have
again.
very, very special trees for you that also include the bamboo stake.
Oh, that's just great. So now I completely forgot where we were.
No, Hong Kong orchid.
Hong Kong orchid,
Yeah.
again.
We used to plant these so much in the 80s and 90s, and then there was a big push. Everyone was saying it was invasive. And I'm like, no, it's not. One thing always for everyone to be aware of is to make sure you check and make sure that plants are not invasive, because sometimes you can go to a nursery and some folks don't know, and you'll pick up a tree that can be invasive, and you don't want to have that in your yard. But this, yeah, beautiful flowers on this. You can always check back with John. If they don't have it in stock, they can probably get it
We
for you.
always are changing. We get deliveries every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So my buyer, they look to see what's out there, and anything that's special we get.
Nice.
If you need something special,
Yeah.
you come to us and ask us, and we will order it for you, and we'll have it in here within a week to 2 weeks.
Yeah. So following up on John's point there, if you're looking for a rare and unusual tree like this shaving brush tree, which we had at our Miami Shores home, here's a picture of me and my mother-in-law, Elsita. Beautiful tree. She has these wonderful big pink fuzzy flowers. And the name of the shaving brush tree is actually coined from the shaving brush that our dads, if you're old like me, that our dads used way back in the day. And that's how this tree got its name. One thing to know about this tree is that she will flower in early spring and will put on these wonderful shows without leaves. So you're going to get this big striking look. It's just spectacular to see. But you do need to give room for the shaving brush tree, because she gets big and she needs room to stretch out. There was the silk floss you had mentioned. You also have
Silk floss is right here behind us. As you can see right here, minus the thorns, though, by the way.
minus the thorns.
Minus the thorns. We did have a few, but those got knocked off. But well, you can see this will give you a nice sizable tree.
It's very large. We had actually, if I cut over here on this side so you can see me up there, we had this one in our Miami Shores home. We had two, a white, a little more rare,
wow.
and the pink. They get very big, and the flowers are stunning. This is a fall flower, so a lot of our trees want to flower in the summertime, but there are exceptions like this. Ours was loaded with thorns, so be careful with kids. But if you knock the thorns off, they don't tend to grow back. So you could, if you want to have that exotic look when you get one, and you want to have those knobby thorns, which almost look like rhinoceros horns,
Exactly.
all over it. It's beautiful. But the flowers are so amazing. Love this. Non-native, but very large tree for South Florida. Beautiful. Another large tree you could consider is the African tulip tree. She has these big, beautiful, upright flowers, orange in color, that face upwards. She can get quite tall, 50 feet or more. Really pretty tree, but you need a big yard for these guys. Here's one I caught flowering recently, and I was so thrilled. Aren't these flowers beautiful? So pretty, so bright. You can see her contrasting with the yellow verowood in flower. But these flowers are really cool because they face upright and they look like tulips, i.e. the moniker that she gets her name from. Really pretty.
I see a verowood. Is that? That is. Absolutely. You see the Monesia. Right here, verowood, and really nice tree.
Really, really pretty. Beautiful buttercup flowers. I would say it's on that cusp of large and medium size to me. I was like trying to say
30, 35 feet,
Yeah,
something in that
yeah.
neighborhood at maturity.
And we'll show you some clips of some of them around town that I've taken or had on projects. And they get this beautiful flower. And it flowers off and on
Oh, yeah.
all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. It's really, really cool. And it's got these cassia-like leaves, you know.
So right next door, this is the lang lang tree. This stuff
Oh.
here is so fragrant. Even if I can crush the leaves just a little bit
Yeah,
and
we-
just get this wonderful fragrance. But your neighbors will come and visit you
Oh, yeah.
when this goes into bloom because of the fragrance that fills the neighborhood.
Fills the
neighborhood.
It's not as showy as some others, but it's the Chanel. Well, they
Yeah.
distilled it down for the Chanel perfume. We actually designed and had some installed in a temporary garden for Art Basel and Chanel just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And they were blooming. We got lucky and they were blooming during the event. What's really cool about this, and it flowers wild, it has this curling, hanging look to it, yellowy green. Really pretty. Here's a close-up of one of the blooms I took of her flowering during the event. There were blooms on all sides of the tree. Really pretty.
Savor it and then like roll it around.
You
on
kind
your
of tackle
tongue
it.
Or
You just keep
No.
doing what you're doing.
No.
Don't let him just say, yeah, you're doing great.
Take a look at Andrew's flower. The stamen's already snapped in half, but don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get you another one. Okay.
Beautiful.
Andrew, I think you have a question.
well, it's more demonstration of my botanical knowledge. This here is the little known Canadian maple tree, also known in Japan as the Japanese maple.
So she's
Okay.
a fibber, but she's got maple right, believe it or not.
Well, you have the
got-
leaf style
she's
down.
such a
I
little
want to say
kidder.
you absolutely
Yeah.
identified the tree as a maple.
It is. It
That's
is.
the only thing I
It's
know.
a Florida
maple.
native.
It's a Florida maple, and yes,
This video is going to go sideways real fast with Andrew. I'm just saying. But the Florida maple, Florida native, they'll get kind of reddish sometimes with the leaves
Yes.
when they want to do their turn. But I don't use them that much because it has more of a northern feel. But it's a really cool Florida native, to consider. Okay, now let's round out the talk on medium flowering trees with three of my faves. Here's the first one. This is the golden shower or the golden chain tree, Cassia fistula. She gets to about 30 feet high by 35 feet wide. She's a moderate grower. But look at these flowers. They're so beautiful. Unbelievable. She can get a little gangly at times, so it's probably best to prune her for aesthetics. Sometimes the branches will get all gnarly and you need to prune them out. Now, over here, this is the queen crepe myrtle, a showstopper. Love this tree. Medium-sized tree, it's going to get to about 30, 35 feet wide. Has these incredibly showy purple flowers starting in spring, and they're just so beautiful. And to top it off, she's a pollinator attractor. Really, really cool. One thing about this tree is that in the fall, she tends to get a little red hue and some leaf drop. And now for the grand finale of our medium flowering trees, the apple blossom tree. What a beauty. These trees are stunning. I kid you not. Moderate grower. She'll get to 20 feet wide. I've seen a little bit taller. But the flowers, you guys, look at this. Isn't this incredible? Unbelievable. Love this plant. She's just so beautiful. And the leaves will drop before she flowers, so she's gonna have this spectacular array. And the flowers wanna cover every single branch of the tree. Just a beautiful, beautiful, medium-sized flowering tree for you to consider for your South Florida garden. Small flowering trees for your South Florida garden. The yellow tab, which I recently just did a video on this one. Beautiful.
Lovely,
beautiful
lovely
yellow
tree.
flower.
It's just fantastic. When they're in bloom, we get so many requests.
Yeah.
The people just flock to the nursery because it is so beautiful.
Yeah, and they just went through their flowering cycle
Yes.
here in South Florida, and it's like it's showstopper. It's a buttercup yellow, similar to the Veerwood, but a much bigger flowering. You can check on our channel. We'll, again, like I said, show you images of these or videos of these guys flowering. They're so pretty. One thing about this one can be a little weak rooted, and I recommend you plant them in groupings so that the roots grow together and the trees can kind of grow together as a boss.
I love that idea.
To protect themselves from the storm winds we get here sometimes in South Florida, so you don't lose a tree that's just so beautiful. Really wild growth habit, by
Yes.
the way, right?
Oh yeah, and
Cool.
it's also really wind dependent.
Yeah.
Because if you have certain winds that come consistently, this will have a tendency to want to follow that wind and
So
and
nice.
do it. So you can either stake it or allow it to grow naturally,
Yeah.
and you will have some really unusual.
Really unusual branching.
Yes.
So cool. And a corky, very thick corky when these get large.
Yes.
Very thick, high ridges and deep valleys on the bark.
And then right here behind us,
Oh.
what do we have? Okay, we have.
Little Gem Southern Magnolia.
So, and then if you come over here, Diego, and just take a look at what's over here.
wow, Andrea, come
Oh my gosh. Now, Andrea, I want you to come over here and take a little whiff of this right there.
Oh gosh.
I saved this for you guys, see?
Wow.
Just special.
Oh, it's lemonade.
Nice.
Isn't that
Kinda
beautiful?
lemonade.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
The
I didn't know you had
Southern
one flower.
Magnolia is just,
Stick your puss in there.
just
Good.
as good as it gets.
Oh,
Isn't
wow. That's rocketing up there with gardenia.
Absolutely.
It's such a cool scent.
What is this called?
So the Southern Gardenia, and then you have
This is the Magnolia.
I'm sorry, not gardenia.
Yeah.
I'm getting gardenia is my fault. The Little Gem. This is the one that's made for South Florida, so it can handle our more humid and
18 to 20 feet tall.
Yes, a beautiful small tree for
Yeah.
your yard. But
But
God,
boy,
that scent, Joel, is
The flowers are just
incredible.
amazing. I saw that today when I was
Incredible.
walking around.
Wow.
I said, "Oh, I'm surprised."
When I came in, John, I looked over here and I didn't see any. But wow, and this is even more ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We have it in the
Going
right
back in it.
location here.
Can't wait.
It is just fabulous.
Oh, that's amazing. God, that is. Oh, I'm telling you that is really close to gardenia. And that's my favorite thing. Contrast. Look at over here. This here are some standards, and that's Imperial Delight, which is one of my favorite bougainvilleas.
Gorgeous.
Fabulous, and you can.
Beautiful. And you make a small tree. You're literally making a standard out of it. And most of these are grown as vines.
Right.
And look, it's just so.
Aren't those
beautiful.
wonderful?
So pretty. You got to be careful of the thorns, but I think the purple tends to have very thin, light thorns.
It does. That's for me. That's the most hardy.
Yeah.
That's the Braziliensis, I think. And
beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But this one we had the surprise at our home, Miami Shores, growing over the garage, and it combined with the sandpaper vine, the Patria, and it had that purple grape like, and these two combos. But the surprise has either white or pink because it just makes up its mind. But the Imperial Delight is like rapidly becoming my fave because I just like the way this combo works. So beautiful. Great as a tree for a courtyard in your
Absolutely.
home, or a space that you want to have something not so big. Just a great tree. Non-native, but super tough. Drought tolerant like no other. Really cool.
And then come down here, Michael.
Okay.
Diego, over here. These are Dumbayas.
Oh
These are
my
Dumbaya trees. Have you seen
I
them?
did not see Dumbaya this big. This is great.
No, that's what I'm telling you.
Wow. And you just had flowers go through their
Oh,
flowers.
the flowers were everywhere. This is the Florida
Beautiful.
hydrangea.
Yep.
Okay.
Basically
and
looks like that flower. Beautiful.
they're fabulous, nice specimens.
So pretty when they flower. It's a small tree or a shrub or a very large shrub. We had it as a multi-trunk shrub and wanted to get to a tree, but it just started getting credit out because, and I should know better, is that we were trying out so many different things and it started to crowd out other stuff, so we had to move it. But it's such a beautiful, beautiful plant. Ours never got this big. This is beautiful, John.
Yeah, we love these.
And look all the flowers you just went through.
Oh yeah, no, these were spectacular. We had about 10 of these, and so these are the last 2 that were left. And so anybody that wants to come and get something and then just be absolutely,
you'll be stunned. It's really. We'll show you some pictures of them so you can see the flower. It's just beautiful. Big, fun tropical leaves. You know, the light green color, spectacular.
Yes, they are.
Oh, so glad you have these in stock. So don't forget, everybody, Flamingo Road Nursery. You can't go wrong. They're going to have stuff, and if they don't have it,
talk to John. Just come in and ask
for
say,
John.
Michael sent me.
Yes. All right, so let's go look at some more stuff. Talking more about some small trees for your yard. Lucianda. Oh,
I love it. They're going to give you just such a showy look.
beautiful salmon color to them, right?
It's a wall. It's a wall of color, literally.
But not very big. It'll get, I would say, about 8 to 10 feet. I've seen some about 10 feet over time. Very bushy, but there's also a white. You can also get a white.
And I
there's a
have
white
one
available.
on site somewhere.
Yeah, but things go fast here. We mentioned earlier, but always check back with them because they always have stuff that comes in to help you with. But this is a very tropical looking plant. Beautiful, beautiful plant. I'm sorry, it's a beautiful small tree. And behind you, we have Jatropha. Wonderful small tree. So let's go look at that. Wonderful tropical tree for your South Florida garden. Small tree. You grow this as a hedge or a standard as a tree, or you even got this one here doing a winding effect. Butterflies love this. Butterflies love this.
12 feet, 15 feet tall.
Oh, you got a bee coming there in here too. Look at that.
Well, they love it.
Yep.
The pollinators
Yes,
love it.
pollinators love it.
And then, as
That color.
as we always love to tell our customers, this is the only plant I have in the nursery that flowers 365 days out of the year.
Sure does.
So you will
Sure
have
does.
this beautiful color. all
Drought
year long.
tolerant, super tough. I don't know why people don't use it more.
I know.
Look at all the bees; they're just so happy. But butterflies really do love this tree. And I say plant sometimes because you can grow these as shrubs, and they're very, very hardy that way too. But for growing the smaller trees, many times you just need to limb them up. If you're picking up one that's a shrub and you want to grow it, you can grow it as a multi-stem. You can do that for this tree here, or standards where you have a single trunk going on. So beautiful.
Beautiful.
Just a beautiful little tree. 365 days a year color. How about that? All right, let's go look at some more. Now we're going to be talking about Tacoma stands, the yellow elder. Super fast, small tree, John.
Right. Very small tree, but colorful. Look at it, and it grows quickly.
Yellow tab has this kind of color. Vera wood will have this color, the Valencia. Beautiful.
Yes.
But it's like little trumpet type flowers. And oh, it looks like, Andrea, it looks like you've got something going on here.
What?
Are you showcasing some of the plants here at Flamingo
Yes, I
Road
am.
Nursery?
I'm unpaid, but I work hard.
Oh, speaking of Flamingo Road Nursery, John, you have something for folks called the flock that you have. And
Hi
would you
there.
like to share that with
So,
folks?
as you come in here, just please make sure before you leave that you stop at a register. You don't have to buy anything, and you say, "I'd like to become a member of your flock." Our flock has grown to 35,000 people in the last year. And so we have every Wednesday you will get one email, and I promise you only one email. And it is quite lengthy, so make sure you go from top to bottom, but it will also give you flock specials that are happening for 1 week only, from Wednesday to Wednesday.
Save
So
some money.
you come in, like this week, we have gardenias, buy one, get one free. Mother's Day, unbelievable. You can load up. And so we have pots, plants, all sorts of garden stuff that you need.
Right.
That's what we put on special. Not stuff that we're trying to get rid of, but stuff that you can use today and you're looking for.
Yeah.
So please come and join us. We'd
Yeah,
love to have you.
That's great. Yeah, they just feel it. They
just
love
feel
it.
it.
That's great.
Right here's Miami Supreme. So this is a gardenia that I know it looks 3 feet tall right here.
Love this plant. Or small tree if you grow it as a standard. But you had standards a while back. I don't know if you sold out of them.
I think we did.
I think we have some video of before. Andrew, look at it. Come over and take a
sniff?
yes. Come over, have
You know what? I'd love
Have a
to.
gander at this.
Become a flock member. You too can have one of those.
I think I will. Wait a minute.
This is my favorite scent.
Oh my God, that's heaven.
Heavenly,
So sweet.
isn't it?
I like to bring one.
Look at this one in full bloom, Andrea. And they're absolutely beautiful. I did a video with my sister. She has the old original gardenia in her yard flowering, and the Miami Supreme can form a small tree. And if you just pan over here and look at the citrus, this is kind of like what a Miami. It's not. It's a different plant, but to get a scale, it'll have you can limb up your gardenia, your Miami Supreme, and then this has this beautiful bouquet. When these things flower, the scent will knock you out. It's
They're
incredible.
fabulous.
My favorite scent is the gardenia. Yours is the Duke. Grand
Mine's
Duke.
the Grand Duke.
But when we were just talking about that little gem, that
I know,
magnolia
again.
and
And
the Grand Duke is so good.
See, I have categories.
Yeah, and we've already done a video with John on scented plants, but this is about flowering. So we want to give this kudos because this is a 2-for-1.
And look at the shiny leaves. It's just a
nice flowering tree, and it has a knockout scent. Just wonderful scent. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Oh, just love it.
Love it. Yep.
Okay, so let's go find some more plants. Oh, here we go. Another small tree. Crepe myrtle. Now, there's a larger version, queen crepe myrtle, and this is the little cousin to it. Beautiful, beautiful small tree. And you come in red.
They come in red, they come in white,
Right,
they come
and
in
the
lavender,
lavender.
and a darker purplish color. So I call it like a lilac and then a darker lavender, if you will. Just
Beautiful, beautiful. This will grow like from Texas all the way down here in South Florida. Some people get a little concerned in the wintertime because they'll tend to drop a lot of their leaves. That is a normal part of this plant.
absolutely.
But when those flowers come, and it's going right into summer, it's a knockout.
It is. It is.
Watermelon red was the classic one that we used years ago. I love that one. White is so pretty too.
Yes.
And,
All of them have
so
their-
nice. Yeah, and it's such a cool look too. Very graceful. We talked about the bridal veil, and this one has not the same type of leaf, but it has a beautiful character, and it can get a beautiful, beautiful head.
Absolutely.
Very full.
20, 30 feet
Yeah,
in
very
diameter.
full head. Yeah, beautiful head. So nice. You can see them all lining up. If you look down all along the aisle here. These are all crepe myrtles. Nice. So let's go look for some more. Here, John has a whole array of desert rose, white and red. You have pink too, right? There's a pink.
Yes.
These are cool. These are cool.
And in the shade
plants.
Yes.
Wow, look at that one.
Multiple. That's just some beautiful.
Yeah, my friend Keith has some beautiful ones outside his backyard. He's been growing in a pot. I think Keith and Joe have a white one too. There's a little striped one right there. Oh, look at that.
This yellow flower there. Oh my gosh.
And they go through periods where they flower, and then they drop the flowers, and then they'll stay green, and then they'll flesh out again with new growth. Here you can see here's some new buds. So this is how the new buds will come out, and then they'll just give you this like super happy. Look at that. That's beautiful. Almost like a rose. Desert rose. Beautiful. The hibiscus. I love this plant, John. And Andrea, I think that's what you'd like to say something about this.
Well, John says this is a double apricot.
Yes.
And I was introduced to the plant, it was 1972, I think. I saw the plant, but people said it was hair jewelry. So I put this in. It's maintained remarkable freshness ever since that date. They do say that if the stamen breaks, is that what you call it, stamen?
Yes.
But if the stamen breaks, it makes a delicious appetizer.
I don't know if it's edible. I think it is.
And hibiscus is because
I
of
think it
hibiscus
is.
tea.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but I don't think this is the variety. But that's okay. It's in the family.
This is just great. So it can be used as a shrub, a big shrub. I've done a video on this plant as well, but you can grow them with standards like John has and his team. By the way, quality material, fantastic here. Florida #1, or Florida Fancy, most of the stuff. Wonderful stuff. But look at all these colors. This says South Florida.
Absolutely.
This says South Florida. You have the simple yellow, you have a compound red, the apricot. Look at this pink. And as a kid, a lot of homes would have this. My
Yes.
mom loved the La France, which has variegated leaves, and then there's one that hangs. We'll try to get you the name of that one. I
What,
don't
the
see it that
Anderson?
much. Is it that? Yeah.
With the red?
Red.
Yeah, the Anderson is
Beautiful.
one that grows, and then it also is pendulous.
Yes.
Which
Oh,
is
don't
absolutely
see it that
wonderful.
much around, but I love that. There's just so many choices you have for your garden, but these are beautiful. Believe it or not, I've seen some of these in pots that people haven't maintained in their yard or side yard, and they hang in there. They can be drought tolerant if you give them enough soil, enough space.
Right.
But these are wonderful, wonderful plants. Want full sun to give you the most robust flowering, and they only flower on the new growth.
Yes.
So if yours are flowering, let them go. I feel let it go through that cycle in the summer, and then after they're done flowering and you want to shape a little bit, then you can do some of your pruning, because you don't want to prune off any of the buds. There's just tons of buds here.
Yes.
Tons, just ready to go. So now that we talked about that, let's go find some more plants. Okay, this beauty right here is the pink powder puff tree. Love this tree. Has these beautiful powder puff little flowers. You can see a bee here. Wonderful, wonderful small tree. It's a pretty fast grower. You do want to trim the lower branches because she tends to shoot out horizontally. She flowers in the spring and summer, and she's just so pretty. There's a red and white variety available. Over here is the Geiger tree, the white Geiger tree. Beautiful, beautiful small tree. So pretty. She's a moderate grower to about 12, 15 feet tall by about 15 feet wide. Really, really cool small tree. Wants to grow in full sun to part sun, and the flowers will come out more or less in the spring and summer. Here we have the frangipani tree. Super cool, really exotic looking. These are what the people in Hawaii use, the leis, when you come off the airplanes and they put them around your neck. This is the flower that they use. So pretty. The flowers are spectacular. They have a wonderful scent. Here's a red one here. There's many different varieties out there. I just love this plant. It's really cool. Oh, by the way, this one. Oh, beautiful yellow. It's like yellow throughout. Oh, not that common. Really, really pretty. Here you can see pink, and there's also white. A thing to know about the frangipani is that in the fall, she's going to drop all of her leaves, and you'll be left with this really cool sculptural trunk. Really pretty. And then in the spring, she'll put out new growth and flowers. Here is an orange Geiger in flower. These are great Florida natives, small trees, super tough. This orange is wild, just wild. And depending on where you put them, they'll do great in your South Florida garden. Most trees to flower want more full sun, but I've seen these in part sun doing pretty well as well.
Absolutely.
Pretty well.
Municipalities love to require these to be planted, so just know that it's a beautiful, beautiful tree. It can add to your landscape.
Yep.
And wonderful,
Florida
wonderful.
native. And these are great because they don't get large if you're talking about small trees, because some people, you got to right tree, right place is super important. And putting this can most likely be planted under a power line unless it's very, very low. These don't get that, the Geigers don't get that large, and that's always something to be aware of. You want to make sure you put the right tree in the right place. Okay, so now that we've talked about this, let's go check out another one.
All right, let's go.
Here we have firebush, really cool small Florida native. Will form a tree about 12 feet by 12 feet. It does want to grow with multi-trunks, and the flowers are crazy. They're all over this tree, and butterflies will love you for it. Here we have the Simpson stopper. Look at these flowers. So pretty. Just buckets and buckets of tiny white flowers. Big time pollinator attractor. Really, really cool. Over here we got locustberry, one of my favorite natives, one of my favorite flowering natives. Super tough plant, beautiful white to pink flowers, and it forms this wonderful small tree. It is a moderate grower, but just look at this, how beautiful, beautiful small tree. And here we have the Jamaica caper, Oh my goodness, look at those flowers. So beautiful. Like this beautiful starburst. Oh, so pretty. They'll come out in spring and summer. Really, really cool. This is a moderate grower. Gets to about 15 to 10, but not often gets that tall. It just, it's a moderate grower, so it doesn't grow super fast. This is Lignum vitae, also known as Tree of Life. Really cool Florida native. Very expensive, just letting you know. The Lignum vitae is also a very slow grower, so you have to have patience with her. She is not going to grow fast. If you want a more instant look, recommend you pay extra bucks to get a larger specimen. And these folks over here decided to add some Phalaenopsis orchids. This is not the color of the flowers. This is the color of the flowers. These blue and white, they're so beautiful. And when your Tree of Life is happy in the spring or summer, she's going to give you a ton of these blue and white flowers. So, so pretty. We would really like to thank all of you, and especially Andrea and John.
Andrea, thank you. It
for doing
it
this.
was my pleasure. Thank you.
And do you have any questions while we've been doing this walkabout that you'd like to
Questions. I wasn't prepared,
so
but
that's
I
okay.
just would like to say thank you guys, for a wonderful day in the sun. I haven't had this much sun since the 70s, as I was telling you. No, this is a gorgeous place. Come out here and enjoy.
And thank you, Andy.
And John, as always,
Michael.
it's been just fantastic. And folks, well, like I said, we'll leave the information so you can get hold of John or myself if you have any questions. And until the next video, we'll see you later.
And what do we do?
Let's
grow!
Thank you so much, John.
Oh man, my pleasure. I love this. Yes, you.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And tell your friends and family. We post videos weekly. Thanks.
Divino. Divino. Por favor.
Oh, it smells so nice. It's a beautiful flower too.